At 28 weeks gestation, 25% of babies are breech, or their head is up in the mom's rib cage instead of down in the pelvis. They're still little and have some time to figure out that they're going to fit better by being head down. By 32 weeks, 7 to 14% of babies are breech, and by 37 weeks or full term, only 3% of babies are breech. So thankfully, most of them figure it out. But for those that don't, there are a couple of options. The doctor may talk to you about doing an external cephalic version, or ECV. First, they'll determine if you're a good candidate. During the ultrasound, while they're checking the baby's position, they'll also look at the placental location and at the umbilical cord. And if they decide that you're a good candidate, then they'll talk to you more about it. And basically what they're doing during this procedure is gooing up your belly with a whole bunch of gel and trying to manipulate the baby from the outside to get him to turn into the head down position. And 60% of the time, it's successful and the woman is able to go on and deliver vaginally. There are some risks associated with it. It's uncomfortable, even painful for the mother during the procedure. There's a ton of pressure associated with it, so be prepared for that. And then also, it can make the baby's heart rate go down during the procedure, so we monitor afterwards to watch the pattern of the baby's heart rate. And it's normal for it to not be very reactive for about 40 minutes or so after the procedure. But we watch the woman for a prolonged period of time afterwards, and as long as the baby looks good, then you can go home and on your merry way and hopefully go on to deliver vaginally. Another thing to consider is that the easier the baby turns during a version, the easier they might turn back into the breech position. So your nurses and doctors will likely still check the position of your baby when you come into the hospital in labor to make sure they're still in the head down position. If your baby is still breech at that point, then it kind of depends on the circumstances. Do we try a version again or not? If your water's broken, it's not really an option. If you're having a ton of contractions and we can't get your uterus to relax, it's also not an option. So it's very circumstantial, but for those who are good candidates, it's a good thing to try. Talk with your doctor if you have more questions about it. And if you have more questions for me in the future, feel free to ask them on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Intermountain Moms, and recommend us to your friends and family too.